learn to improve conversions and generate more leads with the video podcast at marketingoptimization.tv. Hi, and welcome to Marketing Optimization with Alex Designs. I'm your host, Alex Harris, and today we're chatting with Claire from experimentengine.com. How you doing, Claire?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. You guys are based in Austin, Texas, and you are a CrowdSource platform for A/B testing and conversion rate optimization. We're going to go into a little bit of that in particular, but to get started, what would be your definition of optimization and why is it beneficial?
Yeah, so I think about optimization as the continuous testing of every touch point in your customer or user's experience to, first of all, just understand them better. And second of all, to make sure that they're reaching their goals in the most effective way possible and that your business is reaching its goals in the most effective way possible. And, you know, when it comes down to it, a lot of people think that the benefit of optimization is, and I think the benefit of optimization is a stronger business that makes more money. But that's just a very small, narrow, focused way to think about it. It also helps you do marketing more effectively. It helps you retain your customers. It helps you build your brand equity. So I think it has a lot of benefits across your business. But we really like to focus on that it helps businesses make more money.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good perspective because a lot of times I'm optimizing these sites for companies and they want these immediate quick wins. But a lot of times they don't realize that the stuff that I'm implementing, it's going to be on their website for, months, years probably. And that whole system is basically the foundation for their growth going forward. So the stuff that we do, it's, you implement it and test it. Maybe it's a winner and it helps increase the bottom line, but it's going to continuously get that compound effect for years or months to come.
Exactly. And so we really, and that compound effect doesn't just happen on your revenue. It happens on how much you can spend on advertising. It happens on how frequently your customers refer other customers. So there are a lot of downstream, really positive impacts of conversion optimization. And I really think that forward-thinking approach that you're talking about is super effective.
Yeah, because one of the things that we really focus on that I've fine-tuned is understanding exactly your traffic patterns and what goes on with your site. And as you do more CRO, you should be able to kind of know what your site should do, and if it doesn't do that, then you can anticipate those problems and kind of figure out how to re-engineer what maybe you have some code issues or whatever it is. But you should be able to understand your audience and what should happen on your site better than the customer themselves.
I definitely agree. I also think that you should always be challenging your own expectations about what your customers should be able to achieve and what your business should be able to achieve. So some of the common mistakes that I see businesses make is they think exactly what you think, which I think is right. I know my customer better than the customers know themselves. I know exactly how my website should be performing. I know whether I'm hitting my baseline or not. And I would challenge you every 3 months, every 1 month, to reevaluate those assumptions. Do you really know your customer as well as you think you do? Have you looked at the data recently? Do you really know what your baseline should be? Or have you just hit what you think is your local maximum and are satisfied with it, but really you're leaving 10, 15, 20% on the table? And so I really, really encourage business owners, conversion optimizers, marketers to challenge their own understanding of their customers and really push themselves to be more aggressive and push themselves to reevaluate their baselines on a regular basis.
Love it. Love meeting other people who are like-minded who, see this stuff, because a lot of times people get into conversion rate optimization and they're like, oh, I just need that immediate impact. I'm setting up for the holidays. I want to make sure I have the best conversion possible, but it is about that long-term strategy. So let's get into Experiment Engine. Let's just give people a brief overview about your company and the platform and how it actually works.
Yeah, so we think of of Experiment Engine as conversion optimization platform powered by human expertise. So we really fundamentally believe that people like you, people that listen to this podcast and watch these videos, that human expertise is essential in conversion optimization. It can't be completely automated away. It can't be solved by an algorithm because it really takes human creativity and expertise and insight to drive these very meaningful conversion rate improvements. But as many people know, that expertise is expensive, it's hard to manage, it's difficult to get integrated into your department, it's hard to convince your boss. And what we really wanted to develop was a platform that makes integrating and using external expertise when doing A/B testing and conversion optimization easy. And so that's what Experiment Engine helps businesses do.
Nice. So the headline starts with CrowdSource. So you're getting multiple ideas from many different experts, and then you're able to A/B test them all kind of at once, or you pick and choose which one you want?
Yeah, so how it works is we provide on a regular basis testable variations to our customers. So they subscribe to our platform. They get access to our A/B testing tools. They get access to some specialized conversion optimization reporting that we have. And then they also get delivered to their inbox every month a set number of fully designed, fully coded page variations that with one click can be run as an A/B test. And these page variations come from experts just like you, people that either have worked in-house at places like Adobe or Amazon who run their own conversion optimization agencies and consultancies, or people that just have learned this. They're designers, they're experts, they're copywriters. And so you get this really interesting diversity of insights on your conversion problems. And we've seen that that's driven really meaningful results for our companies, even ones that have pretty sophisticated A/B testing programs in place.
Yeah. Well, I know, working in these silos, it could, it's not a good idea because, even myself, I've done so much A/B testing that I kind of come up with, a lot of good ideas, but eventually you are going to reach a point of diminishing returns. And it can be hard to come up with a bunch of different ideas. I know, I meet with my team and my mastermind group and we brainstorm different ideas that we can run on tests, but it's definitely a great idea to, get other experts' advice and then have a whole bunch of different ideas that you can really test to think outside the box.
Yeah, and I see companies, especially I've traditionally worked with in-house teams that have done A/B testing, and what you see is this idea fatigue, right? You've been working on this landing page for 9 to 12 months. You've maybe gotten one or two 20% bumps on your conversion rate, and then you're just flat out of good or innovative ideas, and you see what people see, which is this diminishing return. They're not getting the same results as they were getting from their early A/B tests. And I think the mistake people make is they assume I've reached my local maximum. Like I've reached just the maximum conversion rate for this page, and so I'm going to move on. And really what we found people reach is they've just reached idea fatigue and they've just got siloed in their perspective. And you bring an outside group of experts to the problem, and you can start getting those bumps again, those incremental gains.
So as far as the people who are using your system now, have you seen, is it more landing page focused? Is it more e-commerce focused? Is it whole like blog websites? Have you seen a mix of all of them?
Yeah, it's actually a mix of all of them. So we have some e-commerce sites, both consumer-facing e-commerce sites and business-facing e-commerce sites. We have a couple companies that are focused on doing lead generation, either for their sales prospect or another channel. And then we have people that actually use Experiment Engine solely on their content to improve the effectiveness of their content in driving either conversions or engagement or sign up. That's a really interesting use case because that is a portion on both e-commerce sites, SaaS sites, a lot of businesses that get neglected from an A/B testing standpoint, but really have a lot of opportunity there. So we're able to sort of resource under-resourced area of the site to make sure that you're really testing holistically across your experience.
And you guys have been in business for how long about now?
A little under a year. Okay. So we started the company earlier this year. My co-founder, EJ, and I have worked together on and off for 8 years. And every place we worked, Indeed.com, Electronic Arts, e-commerce sites, no one, no matter how big, how small, how funded, how effective, tested enough. There's always more that you could do. And we really felt like this gap in resourcing and this gap in expertise was the true problem. We are big fans of Optimizely. We're big fans of A/B testing software out there, but that only solves a small portion of the problem of A/B testing. So we really wanted to build a solution that would help marketers like us and really provide an exciting platform for people that specialize in conversion rate optimization. So started this year, went through the TechStars program here in Austin over the summer, and it's been going really well.
Nice. Well, it's certainly a great model for sure. I could totally understand. I worked at a .com for 11 years, and even though I was head of acquisition and did a lot of testing, we were always bringing in people to come up with different ideas to kind of beat our baselines and so forth. So it absolutely makes sense. Now, talking specifically about the A/B testing portion of it, that's built into your software, so you don't need to use Optimizely.
You don't have to use Optimizely.
Okay.
We do have an A/B testing solution, one line of code install, very similar to how any sort of out-of-the-box A/B testing solution works. But we've also built integrations with Optimizely, are building an integration with Visual Website Optimizer. So you can just, if you already have those tools installed, you can hook in through us, and with one click, you can just export it to your Optimizely account. So a couple of our customers are doing that, and then most of our customers are using our own A/B testing platform.
Very interesting. And as far as the data you get back, it's A/B. You get that kind of result, but your team or the experts actually do the actual HTML and development as well.
Yeah, so we've developed a platform that allows our experts to deliver in a very seamless way a fully coded test variation. Our system is the one that actually writes the code. So our business customers don't write the code. Our experts don't write the code. We actually generate the code through our platform and our technology, but it's fully done. Nobody has to write anything. It's mobile responsive. It's QA'd across a whole bunch of browsers. So it's really turnkey for our business customers to turn on a test and get going.
Yeah, I know that clients always come to me and they're looking for some type of magic button to automatically design, develop, and come up with the A/B testing. Maybe this is that magic button.
We're trying to become that magic button. So we really want to be a comprehensive conversion optimization solution that can deliver reporting, tests, and results on a regular basis and help businesses be really disciplined around it.
Really interesting. So now that you've had a number of companies go through this whole process, I know that the people listening, they probably want to come up with some ideas maybe that you've seen work or try themselves. Would be some top tips to recommend testing maybe in the SaaS or the e-commerce space in general?
Yeah, so definitely. We think about, first of all, know what's testable. So, sometimes you're too early or your traffic sources aren't right, or there's a couple times that you're in a stage in your business where testing is not going to solve your core business problem. And so we've had a couple companies come to us and not really know what their business is. A/B testing isn't going to solve that problem for you. So first of all, know what A/B testing or conversion optimization will solve for you. If you're ready to do A/B testing, I think the very first most important thing to do is actually identify on your page what is important and what is not. So if you think about a typical, let's just say, e-commerce company that gets started up, they pick their product selection, they stand it up on Magento or Shopify, they pick their landing pages, they design them, and then they start. There are probably 5 to 10 elements on any given landing page, and no one knows which of those actually drive conversions and which of them don't. So I really encourage businesses when they start to start taking elements off their page and see if it actually moves the needle up or down. See if those elements are actually effective. And then once you start to identify what elements are effective, you can do those sort of deeper dive A/B tests. Work with placement, work with styling, work with copy, work with branding and imagery. But first, the very first thing you should do is just identify if that element should even exist on the page.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Yeah, in e-commerce, a lot of times, they're driving traffic from their homepage or certain category pages, certain landing pages, and they don't even realize what buttons are driving the most clicks or most revenue. And a lot of times those most important things are like below the fold or something like that. So, really identifying where the most profitable elements or most important things that are driving those conversions in the e-commerce case. I've seen that, and just moving those above the fold, those could really drive, conversions overall. Now, as you've seen people use your system, is there a way to kind of get the most out of it? do you come back with a certain amount of ideas from the crowdsourcing aspect of it? How would people use the crowdsource aspect and really drive the most profitability?
Yeah, so I think whether you use us or not, the best way to get the most profitability out of A/B testing is be continuous about it and be disciplined about it. So make sure that you're not pacified by the impression that you're at a local maximum. So always be testing. It's so interesting to me. The thing that I think has made us so effective for our customers is we've increased the number of tests they're running 3x. And we're running those tests on a regular cadence, and we're using the information we got from the test to run more tests. And so not only are we getting conversion rate gains much quicker than I've ever seen in any other organization that I've worked with, we're seeing a 30 to 40% win rate, where I know everywhere I've worked, it's been 10 to 15% win rate. I actually read an article Netflix did on Forbes where they were saying their internal win rate on A/B tests is 10%. I mean, that's what just you see 1 in 10 tests win. And we're getting this 30% gain or 30% win rate because we're being super disciplined about it. We're providing the right insights, and we're never being satisfied with conversion rate as it is.
That's really interesting. I know that Netflix is a big tester. I know Target.com they do a lot of big testing like that. What about segmentation? Do you find that, or does your system do segmentation based on new versus returning visitors, different AdWords campaigns? That's really popular right now. The ability to test based on different segments.
Yeah, I think that sort of like personalization approach to A/B testing is one that's very, very hot right now. I know that companies like Optimizely are getting into it. People are starting to talk about it a lot. I think that it takes a very sophisticated, very mature business to actually take advantage of personalization as an A/B testing solution. So say you're an e-commerce company that does $10 million in revenue. You may not have enough data, the diversity of customers, the information to really reap the benefits, the ROI of something that like personalization would do. So while it's something that's on our roadmap, it's not solving the immediate problem that we're seeing people have. Now, the Targets, the Netflix, those Amazons, they absolutely benefit from this by channel, by customer, really personalized A/B testing. But I think that's something that's, one, very difficult for smaller companies to implement, and two, doesn't drive the return on investment that people would want to see at the smaller scale when there are so many kind of low-hanging fruit wins to get by just being disciplined. So we absolutely think it's awesome, and we think a lot of top-end companies can benefit from it. But with the type of companies we're working with, it's just not the core problem that we're seeing.
And as far as let's say I was to start, using Experiment Engine to start testing, next week, would I? What's the process? Like how many tests would I get back? How does that actually get implemented? Is it everything just one line magic code?
Yes, it is one line of magic code. That I am not lying about. I promise it is one line of magic code. But yeah, what we really like to work with is companies who are engaged for the long term. We don't believe in one and done A/B testing. We don't believe in we'll run one test for you and see how it goes. We really get companies signed up on a subscription basis, and then we determine based on your traffic and your page and your site structure how many tests we can and should be delivering to you on a monthly basis. Some companies like to self-manage, so they put that code on their site themselves. They start selecting A/B tests or pages to run. They go through the ideas themselves. They choose the A/B tests that they want to win. They do the analysis. A lot of our other customers work with what's our fully managed solution. So we go in, we hook into their analytics, we identify what pages need the most conversion optimization. We plug those into our marketplace and get the ideas. We make recommendations about what tests should be run, and we do the analysis and simply deliver a weekly report on this is what's going on, this is how your conversion rate's trending, this is where we see there are opportunities. So we try to make it as easy as possible and as hands-on as companies want or as hands-off as they need it to be.
And as far as the reporting, does it kind of like analyze, profitability based on, CPA or like AdWords campaigns, or like, what is the reporting kind of like?
Yeah, so it's basic standard A/B test reporting around whatever types of goals you have. So if those are destination or click goals, we do an analysis on the performance of those goals. We'd like to give each test a primary goal, and that's actually another recommendation I would give to all your optimizers, is make sure that you have a single primary keystone goal for any of your projects that you know you can hook onto. Even if you have secondary goals, you always know that that one's the most essential, and that you never want to be ignoring that goal at the results of others. And so we set primary goal. We also do kind of revenue goal tracking, so revenue per visitor, what's the average revenue lift per track, those sorts of things.
Very, very, very cool. And let's just tell people how they can find out more if they want to get a demo of the software in general.
Yeah, so experimentengine.com, there's a request a demo. You can also email me, claire@experimentengine.com, and I will hook you up with a demo. We tend to work with companies that are a little more mature. So if this is your first rodeo at A/B testing, I highly recommend you do a little bit of yourself, try Optimizely, try Visual Website Optimizer, get those first couple wins. But if you are a sophisticated organization that feels like they could be doing more A/B testing but simply don't have the resources, we're a really, really great option for that, and we'd love to talk to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that there's definitely a lot of listeners who work in companies who probably be ideal for this scenario. Definitely big companies I know that are listening to the show and probably get some great ideas from using experimentengine.com. To close out, what would be some top tips to really take your conversion rates or your experiments to the next level?
Yeah, I think there are two things that I talk about all the time, and maybe I've just said this over and over in this interview, but one is be disciplined. So never be satisfied and be disciplined. So always, truly always be testing. I know people pay lip service to that, and they say, well, I get a test out every month, or I get a couple tests out every month. Really challenge yourself to do as much testing as you can, and really challenge yourself to always be testing your pages. So even if you think you've reached the maximum of what you can do, I just highly encourage people to always be testing. The second thing that I really recommend is be humble about it. So I think everybody that listens to this podcast is probably really good at conversion optimization and has done some amazing things in their past. But be humble, listen to experts around you, get outside opinions, challenge yourself. Do you know your customers as well as you think you do? And I think that humility will really open up innovation and open up creativity. And that gets you the gains that I think businesses want.
Yeah, well, I think it's a great perspective. I know that I just recently went to a bunch of different conversion conferences, Hero Conf, like my shirt says here, and Call to Action with Unbounce, and just listening to my peers and like-minded people, I got a ton of different ideas, and just putting yourself, out there and listening to experts, getting other opinions, you'll certainly start to really think differently about how much more opportunity there is to start testing.
Yeah, I just never be satisfied, and you'll get there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks a lot for your time, Claire.
I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching the Marketing Optimization Podcast with Alex Designs. Please remember to subscribe to all of the videos in my YouTube channel. Thank you.